I don't even know what to fucking say, dude. I don't know. What the fuck did I just witness? What did Shams just fucking report an hour, like 2 hours ago? That is insane. That is one of the most insane fucking things I've ever seen in sports history. Like, I've been watching sports at least 15 years, probably more than that. Obviously I used to watch like the Packers and stuff, but I've been watching basketball for at least 15 years. This is definitely the craziest trade I've ever seen in basketball. This is even crazier than some of the KD trades we've seen. It's even crazier than, the Dame trade. It's crazier than all those. What the fuck? This is, I don't even know what to say. It's unbelievable. Obviously, we have NBA games, though, from Saturday, February 1st, and then towards the end, I can kind of talk about that trade a little bit. I'm not going to make this video centered on that because we had basketball on tonight, and there were some good-ass games. So let's just kind of get into it first. We're going to first talk about the Hawks and the Pacers game. Again, we only cover the close games around here. So there you go. Pascal Siakam hits a late three-pointer as the Pacers hang on to beat the Hawks. They win by 5. Pascal Siakam made a key three-pointer. Big game from him coming off that All-Star berth, which I do not think is really deserved. I love Pascal Siakam, and I definitely think he's underrated and underappreciated for what he does for the Pacers, what he's been doing. But, he obviously had a good scoring night. And, he does a little bit of everything. He rebounds, he passes the ball at a decent level. So that's great as well. The Atlanta Hawks are definitely struggling. You have to feel for them. I mean, my goodness. 7 Pacers players reached double figures, though. Very balanced offensive attack, and this is starting to kind of look like the Pacers we saw last year that made every game in a sweep against my Celtics absolute hell. Let me tell you that. But, Tyrese Maxey, obviously being a playmaker. Everyone just kind of came together and the pieces fell in to place. Really good game here. Obviously, Trae Young's always going to make it tough to win games. But, man, Andrew Nembhard was hitting tough shots. A lot of stuff going for the Pacers. You look at the Hawks, 12 points, 11 rebounds from Onyeka Okongwu, 34 points, 17 assists for Trae Young. Great game here, 33%. 3-point shooting, 23 points for Dyson Daniels. He's been really awesome this year. I've loved watching Dyson Daniels play. He shot 67% from 3. Honestly, the Hawks played pretty good. Like, I wouldn't even call this a bad game by any means. Like, even a game they deserve to lose. But, there's guys off the bench to an extent, like Keaton Wallace, Larry Nance Jr., DeAndre Hunter. Like, those guys definitely need to step up a little bit and just didn't quite get that. And so you look at the Pacers, you get a 20-point performance for Pascal Siakam off of 50% shooting. Obviously, nothing flashy about Pascal Siakam, but he is one of the more efficient scorers in the NBA if you look at stats. But that's really all they needed. Just talking about that, we're going to now get into the Nuggets and the Hornets game because, wow, the Hornets actually made this a really good game. And it seems like the Hornets get themselves in a lot of close games for whatever reason, and they can just never win them. Obviously, the Nuggets are hard to beat, especially in clutch-time situations. They've been there, done that, won the finals, all that stuff. My hair probably looks like shit on video, but it's fine. We'll get through it. Just let me cook. Nikola Jokic, again, fantastic game after fantastic game after fantastic game. One of the more impressive NBA players I've ever seen play the game of basketball. I mean, 28 points, 17 assists, and 13 rebounds. Leads the Nuggets past the Hornets. They win by 3. 22nd triple-double this season. I mean, again, just scoring, passing, rebounding at some of the highest levels in the NBA. He is, like, top-notch at everything but defense. It's so impressive. We haven't seen something like that since James Harden, and even then, in like Russell Westbrook, Crazy win. Obviously, there's a record that Jokic tied for something, but I don't know why we're struggling against the Hornets. That's kind of concerning, but it is what it is. Aaron Gordon was getting to the rim, throwing it down. This was a good game. Obviously Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray coming together, being the big players, being the big pieces for this team. Jokic just getting through defense, hitting tough shots. You look at the Nuggets, though, 15 points and 10 rebounds for MPJ. He's been playing pretty good recently. 28 points, 17 assists, 13 rebounds for Nikola Jokic. 20 points for Jamal Murray off of 50% shooting. And, man, Christian Braun, really good game. 24 points, 11 rebounds. He shot 40% from 3, 60% overall. He's been awesome. I've loved seeing his development, coming out of Kansas and then playing this good in the league. I never expected it out of him, but I am glad he is doing this because he is a piece of a potential championship team. You look at the Hornets, 24 points and 12 rebounds for Miles Bridges, doing all he can. Mark Williams is a monster. I picked him up in fantasy, and he is awesome. I love him. 20 points, 15 rebounds. Obviously, just the lack of LaMelo Ball in your lineup and having to play guys like Vasily Micic, who, to be fair, got hurt. But, I mean, they have a decent bench. Musa Diabate, Seth Curry. They have KJ Simpson, Isaiah Wong. They have, what's his name, Daquan Jeffries. They have a decent bench, but Micic, he's not a starter. He doesn't belong in a starting lineup anywhere in the fucking NBA, if we're being honest. But we have 2 more games to talk about, and that will sum it up for the night. First, talking about the Wizards and the Timberwolves. Wizards beat the Timberwolves by 2. The Wizards finally win a game. They end a 16-game losing streak, which I think was the highest in the league at the time. Yeah, man, Kyle Kuzma having one of his best games scoring-wise of the season. And obviously the Timberwolves didn't have all their guys that were kind of resting. They figured, you know what, this is the Wizards. But they shrugged them off at the wrong time. And holy shit, 16 straight games. That is over a month of basketball just fucking losing systematically. That is ridiculous. Obviously, Rudy Gobert was getting up. He was still playing. Pretty fun game here. But, Jonas Valanciunas getting through defense, hitting tough shots. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, guys like that for the Timberwolves, they still had. And again, Rudy Gobert. They were making it a little tough. Obviously, this was a close game. But, yeah, man, 31 points for Kyle Kuzma. I don't know what happened to Kyle Kuzma. Like, he used to be actually really good for this Wizards team. Obviously, injuries, I think, have kind of hurt him. But a year or 2 ago, he was actually a dog. Back when, they had KP still. Wow. 13 points, 10 rebounds for Jonas Valanciunas. He's finally playing starter level, starter caliber minutes, and he's been playing great. So there's that. You look at the Timberwolves, 23 points, 12 rebounds for Jaden McDaniels. Kind of gave him a chance to have a breakout game off of 60% three-point shooting, 50% overall. You get 16 points, 16 rebounds for Rudy Gobert, but not much other than that. You'd kind of expect a little more out of a guy like Naz Reid, especially when you don't have Anthony Edwards on the floor. I think he could have played a little better. Obviously they have Joe Ingles now, and they have Jalen Clark. They have some pretty solid pieces coming off the bench, but yeah, Naz Reid definitely could have played a little better, carried his weight. He needs to be a double-digit scorer at least. 8 points is kind of unacceptable, and I don't know why he only played 20 minutes. I guess they were just deciding to take a load day and say, fuck it, we're done. But anyway, Heat and Spurs is up next. It's the final game of the night, and ironic enough, this is the same exact final score as was the previous game we just talked about, Wizards Timberwolves. Yeah, Bam Adebayo hits a 19-footer at the buzzer to cap a 30-point outing. The Heat win by 2 over the Spurs. Honestly, I've been hating on Bam Adebayo recently, but he had a game here. Shout out to him. Awesome jumper. His time expired. Great scoring. Great rebounding. This seems like a vintage kind of Bam Adebayo game. Games like, his actual all-star self we were used to seeing for a while. And they get the win. I don't know if Victor Wembanyama was playing. I don't think he was. I think he was sitting or hurt or something. I don't know what was happening, but that obviously explains why the Heat were able to win. Jaime Jaquez Jr. was getting to the rim and using his athleticism. Pretty fun game here. Shout out to Bam Adebayo. Awesome shot. Love to see that out of him. Kel'el Ware playing good defense. Bam Adebayo again and again just being tough throughout that game. Yeah, man, 30 points, 12 rebounds for Bam Adebayo. He shot 40% from the three-point line. Played some really good basketball. So, again, shout out to Bam. I'm telling you, without Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs are fucking dog shit. And if they were a couple of games over 500, I'd consider putting him in the top 10 MVP voting. Obviously, it's not that way because they've been playing like shit, but wow, this team fucking sucks without Wemby. They suck. They're terrible. There's really just nothing else to say about it. Charles Bassey's awesome. He can grab rebounds and he grinds out there, but dude, that is just not who you want in. I don't know. They have Keldon Johnson coming off the bench for whatever fucking reason. They have Sandro Mamukelashvili, who used to play for the Bucks for a while. He's been getting some minutes and playing decent, but I don't fucking know. What the hell? You can't do anything without Wemby. Until you, pick up De'Aaron Fox like he's been requesting, you're not going to do much. Obviously, tomorrow, Grizzlies Bucks on ESPN will be pretty awesome, I will say. I don't know why the NBA decided to take the day off. Oh, the fucking Pro Bowl. Who gives a shit? No one cares about the goddamn Pro Bowl. But I don't know. Celtics play the Sixers, but I think we should be able to win that pretty easily. I don't fucking know. Who knows? But just talking real quick about this trade. Probably one of the craziest trades of all time, if not the craziest trade of all time. And I'm just going to say this right now. The Lakers lost the trade. Just because you're looking for a big doesn't mean you throw Anthony Davis to the curb and pick up a mediocre stretch five and another ball-dominant player to pair with LeBron. I don't know how that's going to work. It's going to be fun, obviously. I think I'm going to enjoy watching the Lakers with Luka there. It's not winning basketball. It's not going to lead to any winning basketball. I firmly believe that. I know Lakers fans are hyping it up like, oh my God, we got Luka. We got a generational talent. What are the Mavs doing? Why would they let go of a generational talent? They've obviously already given like background on why they got rid of Luka, conditioning issues, being hurt, kind of the burden of his contract coming up. So now that you see that and the cards are on the table, it's like, yeah, I think the Mavs made the right fucking move. And obviously Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving at very similar points in their career. Same with even Klay Thompson. So it's kind of now or never for them. Those guys are going to play with a lot of urgency, and that's going to be a really fun team to watch. They still kept P.J. Washington. They still kept Daniel Gafford. They still kept Derek Lively. They still kept Quentin Grimes, Jalen Hardy. That's a solid fucking squad. I think they still have Spencer Dinwiddie as well. Najee Marshall. I mean, you know what I mean? Who else? They got rid of Markieff Morris. Like, the dude doesn't even fucking play. I think the Mavs made a fantastic trade here. I'm just going to say that. Head out. There you go, guys. Have a good rest of your night.